Marc Marquez could soon change the entire MotoGP rider market. Not by what he does on track, but by what he decides off it. The 8-time world champion might now be the reason Ducati can't match Yamaha's massive plan to sign Fabio Quartararo for 2027. It's a battle that mixes money, power, loyalty, and timing, and once again, Marquez sits right at the center of it all. The 2027 MotoGP season is still far away, but behind the scenes, the negotiations have already begun. The paddock is buzzing. Nearly every major rider is set to be out of contract at the end of 2026. Honda and Yamaha are the only exceptions with long-term deals in place. Johan Zarco and Diogo Moreira are locked in at LCR and Pramac, while Yamaha's Toprak Razgat Lioglu is secured beyond 2026. But for the rest of the grid, it's a clean slate, and that means opportunity. Two names define this upcoming market: Marc Marquez and Fabio Quartararo. Both of their contracts expire at the end of 2026, and both are at the center of their team's future plans. Ducati wants to keep its king, Yamaha wants to hold on to its ace. However, there's a twist, and it could shake up MotoGP for years. Yamaha has reportedly put a massive offer on the table for Quartararo, a deal so huge that it could make him one of the highest-paid riders in the sport's history. But Ducati might not be able to match it, and the reason is simple. Marc Marquez's next contract could consume most of their budget. After his stunning 2025 season with the factory Ducati team, Marquez has become the most valuable asset in MotoGP. His dominance was total. He didn't just win, he crushed the field. 11 Grand Prix victories, 14 sprint race wins, a performance that reminded the world why he's called a legend. The man from Cervera returned to his best form and secured his first title with Ducati, proving that age, injuries, and setbacks mean nothing when greatness is still burning inside. Ducati knows what they have. They know that Marquez doesn't just bring victories. He brings headlines, sponsors, and global attention. That's why they're fully committed to keeping him as the face of their team when the new MotoGP regulations arrive in 2027. According to motorsport.com, Ducati already started initial talks with Marquez representatives earlier this year. They wanted to get ahead of the curve and secure his future before the competition could even make a move. But those talks came to a sudden stop after disaster struck. During the Indonesian Grand Prix in October 2025, Marc Marquez was taken out in a crash caused by Aprilia's Marco Bezzecchi. The collision left Marquez with a serious shoulder injury, a coracoid fracture, and ligament damage, forcing him to undergo surgery and miss the final 4 rounds of the season. It was a brutal setback, especially after such a dominant year. But Ducati didn't lose faith. They made it clear they would wait as long as it takes. The team from Borgo Panigale wants to re-sign Marquez at all costs. They're even willing to rebuild their entire salary structure to make sure he stays. But that's where the problem begins. When you have a superstar like Marc Marquez, you pay superstar money. Ducati knows it. Every euro they invest in keeping him will limit how much they can spend elsewhere, especially on another big name like Fabio Quartararo. And that's why this story gets interesting. Ducati has long admired Quartararo. They see him as the perfect long-term vet, young, fast, composed, and already a world champion. In their ideal scenario, they would have both Marquez and Quartararo in red, but Yamaha is making sure that won't be easy. Reports suggest Yamaha's offer to Quartararo for 2027 is enormous, not just financially but also in influence. Yamaha's promise to build their new prototype bike around him, giving him direct input into the development process. They want to make Quartararo the heart and soul of their next generation project. It's not just about keeping a rider, it's about rebuilding a legacy. And with Ducati preparing to offer Marquez a huge renewal, it's unlikely they'll be able to match Yamaha's aggressive offer. Simply put, Marquez's contract could block Ducati from going after Quartararo. This is the domino effect that makes the MotoGP transfer market so unpredictable. If Marquez resigns, Ducati's money is locked.
If he doesn't, Quartararo becomes their top target. One move triggers the next, and everyone is waiting for Marquez to make his decision. Meanwhile, Yamaha is all in. They've seen the writing on the wall. Quartararo has grown frustrated with the lack of performance in recent years. The Frenchman wants to win, and he wants the tools to do it. Yamaha's massive offer isn't just about loyalty, it's about reassurance. They want to convince him that staying will lead to another championship. Ducati, on the other hand, is confident that their empire can hold together. They've got the best bike, the most complete team, and a champion in Marquez who's proven he can deliver. But that dominance comes at a price. Behind closed doors, Ducati executives are walking a fine line. They're ready to pay Marquez top money, but they're also aware that Bagnaya's contract expires soon, and he too will demand a major renewal. Balancing three superstars, Marquez, Bagnaia, and possibly Quartararo, under one budget may be impossible. And that's the harsh reality of MotoGP's financial world. Every factory wants two top-tier riders, but only one can afford it. Ducati's decision to commit heavily to Marquez could end up costing them Quartararo and possibly Bagnaia in the long run. The timing couldn't be more crucial. The 2027 MotoGP regulations are expected to shake things up. New engines, new aero limits, and major technical changes mean every team will be starting from near zero. That makes the next 18 months a race to secure the right riders to lead development. For Ducati, that's Marquez. For Yamaha, that's Quartararo. For Honda, it could be both. Yes, Honda is reportedly very interested in signing Quartararo once his Yamaha contract ends. They want a superstar to rebuild their empire after years of struggle. Honda's budget and global reach make them a serious contender, and they're watching every move closely. But there's another surprise player in this mix. Aprilia, the Italian team, has quietly become a powerhouse. After their impressive performances in 2025, they've started reaching out to Quartararo's management. They want to know if he'd consider joining their project in 2027. With riders like Marco Bezzecchi and Jorge Martin also nearing the end of their deals, Aprilia could be the dark horse in this transfer storm. So what happens if Ducati can't match Yamaha's aggressive offer? It would mean Yamaha keeps Quartararo, Ducati re-signs Marquez, and the rivalry continues. The king of Ducati versus the ace of Yamaha. But if Ducati decides to gamble and let Marquez go, they could open the door to bring in Quartararo. Either way, the rider market is about to explode. Yamaha, however, isn't taking any chances. Behind the scenes, they're preparing for the worst-case scenario. If Quartararo leaves, they already have two backup plans. The first is Francesco Bagnaia. Yamaha believes they can tempt him away from Ducati if the timing and offer are right. The second option is Toprak Razgatlioglu. If the Turkish star impresses in his rookie MotoGP season in 2026, he could be promoted straight to the factory team in 2027. It's all strategy, timing, and anticipation. A high-stakes chess game where every move affects the next. And at the center of it all stands Marc Marquez. He knows exactly how much leverage he has. He knows exactly how much Ducati needs him, Yamaha needs Quartararo, and both manufacturers are racing to secure their future stars. By delaying his decision, Marquez effectively controls the entire market. He can see how much Yamaha is willing to pay, how desperate Ducati becomes, and how quickly Honda or Aprilia move in. It's not the first time Marquez has played this game. Throughout his career, he's used timing as his greatest weapon. He understands the politics behind the sport as well as he understands the track itself. Every interview, every public comment, every hint about his future, it sends a ripple through the paddock. Ducati's management knows they can't afford to let negotiations drag on for too long. They've built their MotoGP empire around consistency, and uncertainty is the last thing they want. But the reality is, as long as Marquez hasn't signed, every team is waiting. Every manufacturer is holding its breath. If he stays, Ducati remains the dominant force. But if he walks away, the entire balance of power could shift overnight. Quartararo could move, Bagnaia could switch, and MotoGP could enter a brand new era of rivalries. Fabio Quartararo, meanwhile, faces a personal crossroads. He's 26 years old, the prime of his career. He's loyal to Yamaha, but loyalty doesn't win championships. After carrying the brand through tough years, he wants proof that Yamaha can deliver. The 2026 season will be his test year. If the new bike performs and Yamaha's project looks solid, he might stay. But if not, his options are open-ended. And that's the dangerous part for Yamaha. They're trying to buy time and belief. They're offering money and influence, but Quartararo's decision will depend on performance, not promises. The 2026 season could be the most tense in recent memory, because everyone knows what's at stake. Every result, every crash, every injury could change the course of 2027's contracts. Team managers are already holding meetings, sponsors are negotiating future deals, and engineers are preparing prototypes with riders who might not even be on their payroll yet. By the end of 2026, when the dust settles, we'll finally see which domino falls first. Will Marquez resign and close the door on Ducati's chase for Quartararo, or will he test the market and spark the biggest transfer storm MotoGP has ever seen? If he stays, we'll witness the continuation of a modern rivalry. Ducati versus Yamaha, Marquez versus Quartararo, two giants pushing each other to the limit. If he leaves, we could see a reshuffling that changes the entire sport. Ducati would chase Quartararo, Yamaha might go for Bagnaia, and Honda could grab whoever's left. And Aprilia, quietly waiting, could strike at the perfect moment. The truth is, MotoGP is entering a new era, one defined as much by strategy and contrast